In Gullah Geechee culture, joining the church at one time was an ancestral practice and West African religious tradition called seeking. The practice was based in the thought that, since God sometimes communicates through dreams, the interpretation of the dream represented achieving spiritual maturity. The cultural and spiritual rite of passage was usually practiced by a child or teenager. While seeking, the individual would tie a rope with knots around their head to indicate to others that they were in a time of prayer and reflection. For days and sometimes months, they would sleep in the woods and in some cases a cemetery so that they were closer to the spirits of their ancestors. The length of time depended on waiting until it was determined that you got through with their spiritual dream.
Yeah, but everybody who go to pray, they had that string with the, I think, a 9 knot in them, a cord, like a cord. And you would tie them, and you put 9 knot in, and you tie them around your head. That was to represent to the other children not to bother me or not to tease me or nothing like that. To just go, if they meet me in the road, just pass them by and go about your business.
After receiving the dream, the child would share it with their spiritual mother or father, who would then bring it before the church leaders, who ultimately decided if the dream and its interpretation was acceptable for them to join the church. Seeking is an experience that most people remember for the rest of their lives. As the oldest Gullah on Hilton Head Island, Mother Ethel Rivers joined the church when she was about 14 years old and remembers clearly what her experience was while seeking.
You had to go to the deacon. They put you on a chair, you sit down. They say, how I to sit down now, and all the deacons was around it. Then we talk to. Then, if I satisfy those 2 or 3 deacons, they'll notify the rest. Then we would have to come here to the church, and then we could have to talk on this like how. And if you miss or stumble, you gotta go back and do it all over again.
If the individual was a child who was playing around and didn't take the process seriously, they were turned back. Once the dream was identified, it was then shared with their designated spiritual mother or father, who would interpret the dream.
Let me give maybe a picture of what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When I start to pray, I had to get up, like, sundown, go out in the bush, and I used to go behind the corn house. And then you pray. Ask the Lord to show you to somebody that will teach you how to pray. Okay. It was a couple of older ladies there, but I had a godmother, and I had want to go to my godmother. But I pray and I pray and I pray, and I didn't see my godmother. So he said, you plain, you need to pray harder. So I said, well, how harder must I pray? He said, what you ask the Lord for? I said, I asked the Lord to show me to my godmother. He said, you just ask the Lord to show you to somebody that will teach you how to pray. So I go back out in the bush and get on my knee and I pray and ask. I say, Lord, please show me to somebody. And when I get serious, he showed me to a lady that she doesn't play around. If you got something to do, you do it. No playing. Go do what you got to do. Then you go play. But you don't do a little bit, yeah, run and play and do a little bit. Then she showed me to her. And when I gone to the lady had already seen me in the spirit.
Mm.
And I said, oh Lord, I gotta go. I gotta go to this lady. I thought the Lord would have shown me to my godmother. And I didn't know. When I see my godmother, it seemed like she been down, way down in a sink. And I holler at her, I say, godmother, come this way, come this way. Come. Sometimes I be talking so hard and my mama have to just get up and say, sister, like that's my baby name. Sister, I say, what wrong? I say, mama, godmother gone down in that sink down there and ain't nobody going to get him. She said, ain't no sink, baby. Come on, say your parade. And I'll do that until I finish. And when I did finish, he did show me. They gone, and I find out I gone down to the well. You hear the people talk about well, they had to get water.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have no pump. I gone down to the well. And when I take the bucket and hold them down like that for get full of water, then I raise back up. There was a wagon, but there was no horse. But the man told me, say, I want you to take this wagon down the big creek, that down there. He said, I want you to wash it clean. Bring it back to me. And it seemed like I'd gone and I washed the wagon. But when I washed the wagon, and I jumped back in, and you know, when you're jumping and your back turned that way, and the man said, no, you see, you got a little bit of mud on that wheel over there. But there was no horse in the wagon, or the wagon been going with the two thing up like that. And I jump out, and I go back down in the water and wash, get the rag and wash all around the wagon, all around. And when I go for jump back in the wagon, there was a man with a little baby. And he said, I want you to take this baby and take care of her. And I said, thank you, sir. He said, I gonna give the baby to my mama. He said, no, this baby is not for your mama. This baby is for you to take care of. He said, not your mama. He said, you gotta take care of this baby. You know, my old pastor who had died, he always asked me like this year coming in a couple of days ago, he said, Mother Rivers, he said, how is the baby? I said, the baby's still holding clean.
Eventually, the interpretation would be shared with church leaders who would challenge the individual's beliefs. If accepted, then they would be welcomed into the church's congregation. After seeking, baptism by river would ensure that one's sins were taken away. Utilizing moving water is a tradition that continues in a lot of churches, and including today at Mount Calvary Baptist Church on Hilton Head, where they continue to perform baptisms along the shores of the Skull Creek.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't do that no more because they don't pray. They don't go to no wilderness for pray, for find nobody for teach you or for pray. When you ready, you go to the church, you hand them your hand.
The practice of seeking eventually stopped on Hilton Head as recently as the early 1970s.
I say thank you. You are welcome until we meet again.
Absolutely.
I love Jesus, and I love to treat everybody right. I'm 100 and what going on 2. I born 1918. You can figure that for yourself.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Luana Graves Sellers, and this has been a Sankofa Communications production in partnership with Lowcountry Gullah. For more information on Gullah Geechee history and culture, visit us online at lowcountrygullah.com and follow us on all social media platforms. And subscribe to the Lowcountry Gullah YouTube channel to see more of our videos and documentaries.